I remember my partner Sherry, she was crying. She was pissed, man. She's like, I've had enough. I'm gonna open the gate, let our cows to our water, and then go to hell. I'm like, that's all well and good, but they're gonna ding us for it. And I told her I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna drive these cows back. I'm gonna drive them plumb up to the top. I'm gonna open the gate going off the other side, and I'm gonna put them on the neighbors that they've already regulated out of business. They voluntarily took theirs off, but they just regulated them out of business, same thing. I says, I'm gonna put them over there until this time is up and we get, the go-ahead. Was off throwing rocks, those cows. Got them put through the fence, went back the next day, took them to water. And then, so we make it. Starts to rain a little bit, we make it to the day. We get the forest supervisor out, we've got the ranger out, we've got the guy that's done the monitoring out. The guy's basically saying, okay, they've met their monitoring, they've met everything else. Can they open the gate and bring the cattle? And the forest supervisor says, I'm not in a decision-making mood today. Wow. But all of this, like I said, it's all part of this education of how they just grind people down, they wear them down, but it's all your fault, see?
Yeah.
You're the one not in compliance. That's their objective. They could never beat us that way. We met their stuff. They threatened us with all kinds of, we're going to cut you to. The one ranger, that's the other thing they do. They just keep switching people out. And so they had a new lady ranger, and she says, I'm going to cut you to 100 head. Could cut you to 100 head because, the Gila trout, this endangered species, that endangered species, so forth, so on.
The wolf program, it's the Endangered Species Act has ruined lots of production, and it's definitely hurt, and it's a tyranny because people's afraid to protect their private property, and with the government allotments where they have any running water. If you're in a drier area, they don't pay much attention to you, or less populated, it's a little better usually. But if you're in an area where you have a live stream or anything where lots of people use it, then they hammer on you worse. And then you got these catastrophic fires, but yet they keep cutting, like he was talking, cutting permits, cutting you off your water, and it all depends on who is in control of that particular agency of that piece of country.
Well, we're standing on what we're surrounded by is national forest. A little bit east to us is wilderness. These mountains up higher are wilderness, and around us is national forest. And the difference between wilderness and national forest is preservation versus conservation. Preservation is for no use. Preservation does not have logging. Preservation does not have grazing. Preservation does not have mining. Preservation does have huge out-of-control fires. Preservation does have a lot of timber just falling on the ground because there's no one to take care of it. Preservation will have these huge fires, and then the creeks will run with black mud that looks like pudding after one of these fires, and that's from preservation, no use.
The Forest Service, the Whitewater Baldy fires that burnt a lot of these bare spots around there, burnt 300 and some thousand acres, and it's made a mess in the wilderness. That burnt in 2012. And now it's with all the downfall on the timber coming down, the trails are a mess. We've got the main trail from one trailhead, Willow Creek, into the West Fork of the Gila River. They've done nothing with it for 10 years.
And so, like, even some of these areas where the water would possibly sit and the forage would grow, you have campers that are going in and tearing up the terrain.
Oh my goodness,
That's right.
And you have some pictures. What kind of explain some of those pictures?
Well, that's a recreational site, but it's also a critical habitat for the mouse and for the thistle. And those thistles grow right around that water, and those people get in there and just stomp on those thistles, kill them out. But they don't say nothing about that. But if a cow gets in there, then we get in bad trouble.
There's people in the community, sometimes we'll give them meat when they need it. Our pastor and different people that we're able to provide that meat to that we're just not going to be able to if we don't have a business. And we have to be realistic and use some common sense. What's more important in today's society? A mouse that they don't even know if it exists, or people who need food? People need food. People are hungry.
Now we're in times where the food factories are just going up in flames, and there was already a shortage. And you guys, worst case scenario, like say we don't have Walmart available, accessible anymore, you guys would be the food source.